Folks. Today on Shallibodhran, I've been practicing with some other stuff, and with the hand practicing, like the hand technique stuff, so no stick playing, I've been slowly trying to incorporate. You'll have to forgive me because my fan is on, so if you hear it, my apologies, but it's clearing some humidity out. So, with a lot of trying to do hand techniques on untaped heads, all this sort of stuff. I've been trying to delve more and more and more into that sort of thing. And the bodhran's good for that. The problem with the Irish bodhran is that it's nice to do this on an untaped head. However, the problem that I keep running in is that there's a sustain problem, and it's because the tuning ring is on the inside. So with the tuning ring on the inside, it kind of gets in the way. So it kills some of the sustain. So I went to a music store, and I picked up, well, you already know my DAF. I put up a DAF video a little while back, but I also picked this up. This is a 16-inch, so it's the same size as this bodhran down there. This is a 16-inch REMO frame drum. It's pre-tuned, it has the plastic center. It's just to learn on. But you can see there's no tuning sections to it, and there's also a very thin frame. And this is very thin. This is about, 2 3/4 inches or thereabouts, so it sits in the hand like that. And the purpose of this is literally, the skin is the Fiberskin, which actually I like the Fiberskin, it's not bad. And I've been having some fun trying to just strengthen, refine my right hand and strengthen my left hand. One of the things I've been trying to work on has been the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. I'll show it to you this way: 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, or 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. That sort of thing. Just something that, and the reason why I've been working on that is to see if I can reload. The extra gives a little bit of a reload time for the rest of it. How much was it? That was about $51 thereabouts. It's a simple, solid construction. It is perfectly in tune. I know that some places the tuning on the head is not that, mixed results from REMO, but this one is solid, and this one I actually tried out. I also tried out a 22-inch, which I kind of wanted, but I really just wanted something light and small with myself. And I tried it out by walking around downtown Toronto with it, just sort of walking around, and it's so light you can just, it's like a tambourine, just pick it up, and just walking around and so how is it being used as a bodhran? Terrible. REMO a long while back made a Fiberskin bodhran, and it sounds thonk. Doesn't sound particularly nice. The plastic heads are not good. REMO also has one out called the Valencia model, which uses a better head, and it's not too bad. The Valencia Pro version. And then there's sort of the regular Valencia one with the black head. Avoid that one. It has a really dead, muddy, no dynamics, I mean, if you're just someone who plays bottom end and likes bass, it's not that bad. But the other problem is tuning the damn thing. Has a horrible tiny little tuner. I actually did a write-up on it and it's been posted on my WordPress website, so check out my review of that. I think it's quite helpful. But that's what I've been sort of farting around today, seeing what I can do with the untaped heads. And what's nice about this is that it's so small and so light, I can actually fit it in my backpack and take it to work when there's nothing to do at work. But it doesn't take away from actually playing. I haven't tuned this, trying stuff on untaped headed bodhrans as well. So, there's nothing saying that a bodhran can't do it. And this is sort of where I would jump into the whole COOPERMAN drums thing, because some people with REMO and COOPERMAN are not big fans of it because they don't consider them bodhrans. And, okay, REMO has the Irish bodhrans, and they are bodhrans. They're just not that good. As aforementioned. And COOPERMAN, everyone gets on COOPERMAN because they didn't get bodhran right because of the whole Glen Valez thing when he's picking up a bodhran. And the thing is, if you look at the Glen Valez model, it has an internal tone ring. So it still pushes up and in and out like a typical Irish bodhran. So in the construction of the Glen Valez COOPERMAN Irish bodhran, it's a bodhran. It's just got a plastic head. It has a Renaissance head, I believe, from REMO. And it's not designed to be struck with a stick. It's a head that's been on a bodhran that's designed to be played with the hands and not a stick. Is it a bodhran? I would call it a bodhran. There's nothing particularly wrong with it. I mean, Eckermann designs drums with a bearing edge very similar to COOPERMAN and whatnot, and has internal tuning. Mind you, if you go to COOPERMAN and you buy a bendir or a tar, and it has the tuning rig right in the actual frame, a la Eckermann drums and whatnot, it's still like a bodhran, except the context is totally different because it does not. Well, some do have the goatskin heads, but they don't have that sound. So I don't. It's hard. It's hard to for me, and I say this with a degree of ignorance. Well, sort of ignorance. I'm not a maker of them. I haven't been a long time maker at all of any Irish instruments, especially bodhran. And it's like, well, if you buy those cheap, crappy bodhrans, it's a bodhran. Like if you buy those crappy Walton's ones with a painted head, it's a bodhran. There's no doubt it's a bodhran, but it's crap. But it has the same general properties of one of these, except it has the crossbar in the back, the painted head, and no tuning ring. So if someone made something like that in Ireland, is that still a bodhran? I don't know. It's not like my drum here, where it has the internal tuning ring. How incorrect is COOPERMAN for doing a Glen Valez bodhran like that? To me, it's a bodhran. It's just a bodhran with a plastic head. That's all, and a very good plastic head. The Renaissance heads I quite like. But how is it not a bodhran? I think it's because of how it's played, and because of what Glen Valez has done with it since. So it's completely removed. And this is kind of where you get into the world music postmodern problem of, if you take a bodhran and you use it in a non-bodhran way, in another context of music, is it still a bodhran? And a lot of people, I would think the majority of people would say no. But if I take this bodhran here, and I play rock and roll with it, is it still a bodhran? Well, yeah, of course it is. So it's an uneasy connection and differentiation between a bona fide instrument and a context of which it's being used in. Good case in point would be Afro-Celt Sound System, who have crisscrossed stuff over all the time. They have bodhran players, and there's never really been a criticism about the use of bodhran there and it being used correctly or incorrectly. It certainly is played very traditionally, so I don't know about that. But you could easily pick up one of these drums. And these frame drums are all over the world. I mean, you pick a country, and every country in its history, every culture in its history has made a version of something like this. So this is just a modern frame drum. So I don't have a conclusion to this. You're going to have to make your own minds up on that.